Okay, so this is a ranch-style house built in the 70s, 80s, pretty typical Fox and Jacob front living area with the galley-style kitchen on the other side of that wall directly ahead. So we're going to be taking the entryway out, and then we're going to be taking the wall out that divides the kitchen from the family room and that front living. Yeah, so switching over to the drawing here, you can see we're going to take out this wall, and this third wall. Coming into the kitchen, you can see this is a very standard galley style kitchen. Pretty standard configuration for those 70s and 80s houses. We're going to remove the cabinets on this wall as well as the wall. We are also going to get the refrigerator and move it into position and plug it in so they can use it during construction. You can see the homeowners pretty well got the place cleared out, but he left some of the bigger furniture. We are very willing and able to help move the larger pieces if you're not able. The load-bearing wall removal process is a very dusty process. So in addition to plastic, we have this fan that we set up that sucks the dust from inside to out. We run these during construction. They do make a little bit of extra noise, but we feel like it's worth it to keep the dust outside as much as is possible. As we get started, a couple of the men will go up into the attic and begin to brace the roof. Here on a one-story application, you can see the purlin brace is relocated from on top of the wall to within 12 inches of the beam. We have confirmed with engineers this is an acceptable practice. So you can see here we're starting to tape curtains of plastic off, masking tape first on the wall and then plastic to it. Normally, we put down plastic and then heavy moving blankets over the floors to preserve them. In this particular application, the customer was removing and replacing all the floors, so that was not necessary. You can see the front door has been wrapped in a heavy moving blanket to keep it from being scratched. In our world, we remove cabinets with hammers, not screwdrivers. So a lot of people ask if we can save the cabinets. That's not really something we do. If you want to save your cabinets for another project or repurpose them, it would be best for you to take them down before we get there. So each job has specific lumber that has been sent for the project. So each beam gets packed with a certain layers and levels of wood. Here the guys are unloading and they sort the wood so that as we work, we can select the right piece for the particular application. Yeah, so as demo goes, we start with the trim, then the sheetrock, then the 2x4 studs. So right here, Sam's cutting a stud at an angle. Fear not, this is not a load-bearing stud. We don't start taking out any of the load-bearing structure till after we have successfully supported your house with our shoring material. You can see the guys working here as a team. Some are still doing demolition while others are picking up and rolling trash out to the trailer in wheelbarrows. On 99% of the jobs we do haul the trash away. There are very few exceptions. Certainly there are times when people want to save money by hauling the trash themselves. The electric is something that we are used to and work around on a daily basis. There is no need for you to get the wires or the switches removed before we get there. We can work around them, and then you will save money by having your electrician work in an opened up space. The system we use to support your house while we take out walls and install beams is called shoring material. Here Sam is tightening up the collar, applying pressure to the bottom side of the aluminum I-beam. As Sam hits this collar, this part goes up and this part pushes down. Now we're ready for the shoring material to take the load off of the walls. This allows us to remove the walls safely. With the shoring material safely in place, Sam can cut through this king stud and allow safe removal of the old doorway header. Lunch is a big thing in the guys' world, so they bring their microwave, warm up their community lunch. Also, from time to time, have a hot plate. They come back from lunch with the strength of 1,000 men. We are often asked the question, so how are you going to attach my primarily wood house to a steel beam? The answer is right here. We pack the vertical sides of the eye with sawn wood to allow connection between your house and our steel beam. And here Martin is shooting a powder actuated gun which goes through the lumber and into the steel web of the beam. These nails are specially designed by Hilti for this application, and they shoot so hard and so fast they actually create a weld between the nail and the steel beam. You can see here we've created a beam pocket. Each cut to the ceiling joist is carefully measured, precisely marked, and then cut perfectly squarely to allow a precision fit of the beam into your ceiling. Once the beam is been brought into the room, it will be lifted into position, and these ceiling joists will be connected to the wood beam using joist hangers. Stud packs are used to support each end of the beam, and they range from 3 to 6 studs depending on the weight they are carrying. These stud packs are determined by the engineer. We know that someone has to put Humpty Dumpty back together, so we work hard to cut the sheetrock as straight as possible. It's not a perfect process, but we definitely try to give you a clean edge to finish up against. Now that everything is connected, we can remove the shoring material, pack up our tools, and sweep the floors. Now we're on to the next job. The wires that are hanging down may look confusing, but to an electrician, they're not. We leave all the switches and plugs connected so it's easy for him to troubleshoot, saving him time and you money.
Load bearing wall pros.
We are the pros.